Bollywood entertainment, Bollywood gossip, Bollywood classics, to the latest hits, local news and events happening around town, giveaways, and lots of masti. This is Namaste Radio.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM with your hosts Vanshika, Sushil, and Dolly D.
Listen online at namasteradiohouston.com. Download the app, available on your Android and iPhone.
Namaste Radio.
Welcome to India House Houston. India House is a non-profit organization that serves the community by bringing resources, education, and services to Houstonians like health and fitness programs, language classes, charity clinic, and various events. Help the community now. Sponsor a program or volunteer for free food distribution at India House. Host your next indoor or outdoor events at India House facility, parties, weddings, or corporate events. Located centrally at 8888 West Belford, Houston. For details, call 713-929-1900 or visit indiahouseinc.org. Follow India House Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Namaste. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to this show, the special show of Namaste Radio on 99.5 FM. आप हमें सुन रहे हैं अगर 99.5 FM और अगर आप हमारे इन स्टूडियो यहाँ पे जो हम लोग बैठे हैं हमें देखना चाहते हैं, सुनना चाहते हैं, you can always go to Namaste Radio's Facebook page or India House Houston Facebook page. It is being streamed live on both these pages, Namaste Radio and India House Houston. Again, welcome. मैं हूँ वंशिका, मेरे साथ है संदीप, आप सबके डीजे डोली दीप, and we are presenting this special show on mental health awareness. And I want to thank India House Houston for this opportunity. This show, Mental Health Awareness in Asian Americans, is brought to you by Namaste Radio and India House Houston in partnership with Hope Clinic and Hawk Foundation. We started this last Monday, May 3rd, and we are back here today in studio, and we will be back again for the next 2 Mondays, same time, 12 se 1 baje, for this special show for honoring the month of mental health awareness, which is May. So welcome, and I do have our very beautiful and handsome guest over here today with me. Very soon I will be introducing them. These are 3 young kids from from our youth. They represent the youth of our Indian community, and I have Manushi Shah, Manav Rungta, and Mansi Rungta with me today. And with them I will be talking about some issues that they have noticed or they would like to share about mental health awareness during these times, or in their school, at home, if they have seen something, whatever they would like to talk. Just basic discussion that I wanted to start with them. And again, we want to thank India House Houston for giving us this opportunity. So again, welcome Manushi, welcome Manav, welcome Mansi. Thank you for joining us today on this special show and helping us to get that message out there for our community, and helping us in just being here and starting this discussion, this dialogue, which is so important. We are so happy to see you here, and so happy that you could make it to the show. So firstly, let me start with asking a little bit about you 3. Let's start with Manushi Shah, and then we'll talk to Manav and Mansi Rungta.
Hey everyone, my name is Manushi. I'm currently a public health student, and I go to the University of Houston. I plan to further my education in health and continue to change people's lives.
Wonderful, thank you.
Hi, I'm Manav Rungta. I am a now junior at Baylor University. Studying on the pre-medicine track and also in the business school in a unique program called Baylor Business Fellows. So I'm trying to combine different degree plans in the business school and pre-medicine.
My name is Manasi Rungta, and I just finished my sophomore year at Baylor University. Similarly, I'm also on the pre-med track and in the business school, so I am in a program that helps to immerse the business aspect of medicine along with the science aspect of it.
Thank you so much for sharing, and again, welcome. So last week we started this series on mental health awareness, and last week we spoke about basic what mental health is, and we had Anila Khan from Hope Clinic talk to us about it, and we had Colonel Vipin Kumar from India House. So last week, like I was saying, we spoke about mental health awareness, some of the barriers, stigmas, and also early signs. And today my reason, for having you three was to actually talk to the youth, because you're at that age that we want to start talking about this. Of course, even younger is better, but definitely, your school experiences, your experiences with friends, just a lot of different experiences. I really wanted to talk to you all about that. So to get started with, let me ask you all about what do you think, the three of you, what is mental health? And, anything related to that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers. Let's start with Mansi, with you.
Okay, so I personally think that mental health includes our psychological, social, and emotional well-being, and with that, it affects the way that we act and behave in society, and how we handle stress, and the decisions that we make. And I think that's really important, because if we don't have that foundational aspect, then we can't really, survive or continue with other life decisions.
That's right. And what about you, Manav?
In very simple terms, everyone considers their physical health important. I consider mental health to be everything other than the physical health. So physical health is what people keep in touch with, and they go to their daily doctor, annual doctor checkups, and make sure they're healthy physically, but mentally is everything else, because mental health is such a large topic and concept that it can encompass everything and anything other than the physical health.
Okay. And Manushi?
Yeah, so they define mental health really well. So I'll just add on to that, mental health, ultimately lays the foundation on how you feel and how you act on a day-to-day basis, And so it's really important to just, check in with everyone around you, check in with your loved ones frequently, so that, let's say anyone is, falling down, then, you can help them and pick them back up. It's really difficult in our Indian culture to bring about this in conversation without the fear of people thinking that you're depressed or something else is going on, it could just be one simple thing. It's a lot more easier to discuss this in the Western culture, without you being looked down upon and everything. So I think we should all work together to change that mindset.
Absolutely. Yes. So you all three consider it very important, right?
Yes.
So it is very important, and that is something we have been trying to emphasize since last week, that just not knowing about mental health, but also talking and realizing the need for it. It is very, very important. So thank you for sharing that. The next thing I would like for you all to tell me about and share with our listeners is that what are the main challenges that the Indian youth faces concerning with mental health? Manushi, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, especially people our age, there's a lot of peer pressure, there's a lot of family pressure and career pressure. We're all university level kids right now, and, everyone just wants you to be the best of the best. There's a need for being the perfect child in the Indian community, rather than just being. So it's really important to just to not having the need to compare every single thing, and it's important to just let kids figure themselves out, and just check in on them instead of telling them what to do. Ask them what they need. I think it's really important that kids need from their elders.
Absolutely. And what about you, Manav?
I think that's very accurate, and adding on to that, I feel that having someone to reach out to, or knowing that you can have help without being looked down upon, as was mentioned earlier, is very important, because it happens many times as people believe that they'll be seen as inferior to others if they reach out for help. And that's not the way it should be, because if someone has a broken arm, that's a classic example I like to use. Someone has a broken arm, they reach out for help.
Absolutely.
So if someone has something mentally that they need to address, they should reach out for help without being looked down upon.
So don't shy away basically from reaching out for that help, because like you said, if you have a broken arm, you don't hide about it, you know, you know, like, I broke my arm, I went to the doctor, and it should be, I think, hopefully one day we will reach that stage where we can openly share without any hesitation that, I went to for, you know, mental health related help. What about you, Mansi?
I think they summed it up pretty well, but something just to add on to that, I think a major challenge is the public stigma that is present universally, not only, you know, in certain areas. In some areas more so than others, but I think that just really is the driving force that prevents individuals, especially our age, from getting maybe that help or that reaching out that they need to do.
Okay. So we are in conversation with Manushi, Manav and Mansi. We are talking to them about mental health in in youth, mental health, their experiences around them, what they think mental health is, and what are the issues. We will be talking in details about more of like internal pressure, outside pressure, and we've had this kind of conversation with the three of them in the past with this Hawk Foundation initiative, where we did a focus group with them last year with India House and Hope Clinic, Hawk Foundation, and they participated and they did share a lot of these things. But definitely talking in front of the listeners, talking out there, it's important. Maybe this conversation may inspire a parent listening or a child at this point listening and going home and talking to their loved one or friend, just to start that dialogue. So thank you again, and stay tuned. We will be back after this very, very, very short break. You are listening to Namaste Radio. मैं हूँ वंशिका और मेरे साथ हैं DJ Dolly Deep, and we are doing this special show on mental health awareness in Asian Americans, brought to you by India House, Hope Clinic and Hawk Foundation.
Let's go! Bollywood entertainment, Bollywood gossip, Bollywood classics, to the latest hits, local news and events happening around town, giveaways, and lots of musti. This is Namaste Radio.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM with your hosts Vanshika, Sushil, and Dolly D.
Listen online at NamasteRadioHouston.com. Download the app, available on your Android and iPhone.
Namaste Radio.
Welcome to India House Houston. India House is a non-profit organization that serves the community by bringing resources, education, and services to Houstonians like health and fitness programs, language classes, charity clinic, and various events. Help the community now. Sponsor a program or volunteer for free food distribution at India House. Host your next indoor or outdoor events at India House facility, parties, weddings, or corporate events. Located centrally at 8888 West Belford, Houston. For details, call 713-929-1900 or visit indiahouseinc.org. Follow India House Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Namaste. Welcome back to Namaste Radio. This is Vanshika. मेरे साथ हैं on the board and with all the graphics. Thank you, Sandeep, for helping me out here today. We are doing this special 4-episode season here on Namaste Radio 99.5 FM on mental health awareness in Asian Americans, and this is specially dedicated for the Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May. So thank you again. Today with me I have Manushi Shah, Manav Rungta and Mansi Rungta. हमारी community के youth हैं, हम बढ़ते बच्चे हैं. So definitely इनका opinion बहुत matter करता है, because this is hands-on opinion. We want to talk about this and hear about this. So we did speak about what they think mental health awareness is, what they think some of the challenges are. But to reiterate the part, I would again like to ask you all to just let's discuss something in detail about this. What are the factors at your age that cause a great influence on the onset of mental illness. And at this point, we will also open our phone lines so that if you have something to contribute, listening out there, if you've had some experience and probably even successfully come out of it, you want to talk about it, you're at their age, you've gone to a doctor and you want to share how that experience changed your life, please call. We don't know, maybe someone out there listening may find that interesting, maybe they would take that help and advice and move forward. So we are no experts over here, but we all have our own experiences, and that's what I wanted to basically have to talk to you all on air about it. So yes, our phone line is 713-974-4000. Please feel free, call us, talk to us. We would love to hear from you. But yes, again, back to you three in the studio with me. We were talking about the factors at your age that cause a great influence for the onset of mental illness. Mansi, let's start with you this time.
So I think that one major thing is the is peer pressure, and just wanting to follow footsteps of maybe those we see around us and wanting to be just like them. But really, I don't think that it's required that we follow that, and it's more so making your own decisions and just being your own self. And I think that's just something that will really help. And
great point.
Not, being in the mindset of having to put into peer pressure.
Great point. And we will discuss about this in length in the next segment also for sure. And Manav?
I think one major thing is social isolation. That's very different. Actually, I was looking at some research studies, and in the past 15 years, I think there have been more and more studies as the topic is becoming more prevalent. So I was reading that the age of onset of mental disorders and mental health issues is actually the median age is approximately 20. So that's basically our age.
Yeah.
And one of the leading causes of that is social isolation. And because of COVID, I can't even begin to explain how much that has increased, because everyone has been earlier in lockdown at home, and now because of COVID and the scare of COVID, everyone is still isolated from one another. And for people our age, that is just adding to the issues of mental health issues for the youth.
Absolutely. And Mansi? Manushi.
Yeah, so adding on to what they just said and what we spoke about earlier, I think it's really important to have that open, safe space with our parents and our elders, and especially in the Indian culture, without them just assuming that everything is fine. There's always some trouble or someone going through something. So rather than assuming, just talk to them, and see what's going on.
Absolutely. No, those are great points, and thank you again for sharing. And just by calling her Mansi, I realized how similar your names are, and all three, your names, everyone's name starts with an M. Is M
M-A-N.
Right? Is M like a very famous letter?
It is in this room.
Dad, you should have named me Manchika then, right? So moving forward. Like you all said, the onset of mental illness and some of the factors that we described. The first, what we would like to say, and again, you all can call us if you want to share, is 713-974-4000. So the first factor is the identity crisis. One thing that a lot of us do go through. I mean, the first half of my life, I was raised in India. When I came over here, it was a very different culture in my early teens, and it was kind of an identity crisis. But, with everyone's help around, I think I did good. I don't know, maybe. But that sometimes can affect your mental health, right? Now, you all three were born and raised here. But then you have parents and you have relatives, and I'm sure a lot of your friends and their parents were raised in India, born and raised in India. So tell me about that. Do you feel sometimes, a distance because of that, a difference in culture? Because a lot of times that kind of pressure can lead to mental illness. So please share about that. Manushi, let's start with you right now.
Okay, yeah. So my parents did immigrate here from India shortly before I was born, in hopes to have me, like, raise me with a really strong foundation and just becoming the best version of myself. And luckily, like, I feel lucky compared to other parents of my friends that I've seen, that my parents like have that open mindset, and some things that they take in the modern take, you know, like compared to other people in the other culture where it would seem as very orthodox, you know. So I had that safe space to talk about if there were any issues and everything. So I didn't have to go through any culture shock or anything, but my parents did, but I think they transitioned in a really nice way. So I'm thankful for that.
And I'm glad to hear that, because that is one of the main I can call it complaint that I have heard when I went to college and I saw kids, my age, that sometimes parents don't understand what we go through. Even like, being raised in India and just going to college here and living up to that expectation, or being born and raised here and having parents who were born and raised in India. So sometimes it's very difficult to manage that. But at the same time, fortunately, all our parents, we've been lucky. But I'm sure you all have experiences that you have heard. So let's hear from you, Manav.
I think I've been very lucky, and I can call myself grateful of having the best of both worlds. My mom was born and brought up in India. My dad was born in India, but he moved to the U.S. when he was 4. So he's basically grown up in the Northeast. So having that experience, I think that, as I was saying, I can have the best of both worlds, right, of being in tune with of my culture in India and of the Western culture here, because of having both aspects. I think my dad is very in tune with his culture since he was growing up, and he tried to do the same for the three of us. We go to India every couple of years, being in tune with our religion and culture through different being in Houston, I guess, is one of the major factors that has helped with that, with different classes and meeting different people, helps me be more well-rounded. And I can say that I think I've had to experience less of that identity crisis as we were talking about.
Okay. And Mansi?
Very similar. But just to add to that, I think my mom has been able to assimilate into the culture here after coming here, and then similarly my dad has been able to assimilate with the Indian culture through the various organizations and the family that we've grown up in, very culture, religion oriented. I think that's really helped, along with the organizations and just the Houston community that's so diverse.
Absolutely. Have you all ever heard any any of your friends, anyone complain to you about how they just don't feel or they don't fit in, when compared to what their parents are wanting them to fit in anytime? Any one of you wants to share before we get that call?
I think from a friend I've heard that they've been brought up and raised here, and so they are more in tune with the culture here, and they wish that they knew more about, the culture back home in, different parts of the world that their parents come from.
Okay. The reason why I asked this question is because we've been fortunate, but we do have kids who have that difference of opinion from their parents, and, that middle ground is not there. So we encourage parents, if anytime their kids need help, even if it is culture or religion related, please talk to them about it. But I think we do have a caller, and do we have them on air, Sandeep? Yes. Hello, you're on air.
Hello, this is Duriya here.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing good. You wanted to share something with our viewers?
Yes. I was saying that, for the talks that are going on, I've observed that a few parents confuse religion with culture and, expect them to follow the religious norms more than the cultural norms.
Right.
I feel two totally different things. You can be of a certain culture but follow a different religion, Like, people from India have a crisis like Hindu hai par Muslim culture hai ya Muslim hai par Hindu culture hai.
Right.
Like,
एंड हम उसी डिवाइड के बारे में ही बात करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि आप अपने रिलीजन के मतलब फॉलो प्रॉपर कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप फॉर एग्जांपल आप हिंदू हैं, आप हिंदू रिलीजन फॉलो कर रहे हैं, लेकिन यहाँ का कल्चर, स्कूल का कल्चर, आपके फ्रेंड्स के साथ का कल्चर थोड़ा अलग है, तो कभी कभी वो प्रेशर पड़ जाता है पेरेंट्स के तरफ से. लेकिन we encourage the parents and the kids to come to that middle ground and talk to each other about it, because a lot of times we may not be blessed with, you know, having parents who are able to talk to us or us being able to go up, because आजकल इतना सुनने में आता है even the suicide and stuff like that, so it's always good to be able to go and talk to our parents and वो एक friendship बनी रहे.
Parents to start, you know, letting go of a few things back from home, because the world is constantly changing and they need to evolve.
Right.
They cannot hold on to everything that they have been growing up.
That's very true and I totally agree with that. अगर हमारी को जो limitations हैं उसके हिसाब से, and like I always say, एक वो middle ground बहुत important है कि जहाँ पे parents भी अपनी तरफ से कुछ कदम आगे बढ़ाएं और बच्चे भी यहाँ के कुछ कदम आगे बढ़ाएं. तो जब वो एक मिडिल ग्राउंड मिलेगा तो यू नो, लाइक वी हैव द 3 kids over here, and like they say, they're blessed to have parents who've understood them and you know, given them the foundation, but at the same time let them loose and have their own personality and develop into, you know, their own you know, whatever they are wanting to do. So that's basically great. But thank you so much again for calling and discussing this with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's right. And again, I'm emphasizing on this part is because a lot of times, like she also said, parents don't want to change, but बच्चा क्या है यहाँ के कल्चर, स्कूल के कल्चर में एंड द peer pressure एंड बाहर के यू नो पेरेंट्स के प्रेशर के बीच में काफ़ी यू नो, एक बोलते हैं ना, पिस के रह जाता है. Do you understand that?
No.
I'm sure you all understand that, right? Yeah, but basically it's about you have to evolve and you have to get to that middle ground so that kids and parents both understand each other for the development of that entire, you know, for that kid basically. Yeah. So moving on, let's get into our next ad break, and then we'll be back and discuss further about how you know, internal and external pressure can affect you. Yeah? Okay.
Let's go! Bollywood entertainment, Bollywood gossip, Bollywood classics, to the latest hits. Local news and events happening around town. Giveaways and lots of musti. This is Namaste Radio.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM with your hosts Vanchika, Sushil and Dolly D.
Listen online at namasteradiohouston.com. Download the app, available on your Android and iPhone.
Namaste Radio.
Welcome to India House Houston. India House is a non-profit organization that serves the community by bringing resources, education, and services to Houstonians like health and fitness programs, language classes, charity clinic, and various events. Help the community now. Sponsor a program or volunteer for free food distribution at India House. Host your next indoor or outdoor events at India House facility, parties, weddings, or corporate events. Located centrally at 8888 West Belford, Houston. For details, call 713-929-1900 or visit indiahouseinc.org. Follow India House Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Namaste. You are listening to Namaste Radio on 99.5 FM, and you can watch us live in here studio on Namaste Radio's Facebook page or India House Houston's Facebook page. This is a special dedication for Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May, and this is brought to you by India House Houston in partnership with Hope Clinic and Hawk Foundation. Mental health is important, and जितना भी मैं इसके बारे में बोलूँ कम है. this is equally important as physical health. And आज मेरे साथ हैं मानुषी, मानव एंड मानसी. ये हमारी कम्युनिटी के यूथ हैं जिन्हें मैंने बहुत टाइम से जाना है. And I'm so proud whenever I see all three of them and talk to them. They bloom into these wonderful human beings. So बचपन से देखा है, मैं इतनी भी बूढ़ी नहीं हूँ, लेकिन yes, all three of them, I've known them for some time now. And thank you so much for coming out here and talking with us on this topic, to all three of you. It is a very important topic. And we were talking about internal pressure, parents say, culture related. But also to wrap up on the internal pressure part of it, I want to ask you all about, I don't know within your family, but maybe around you, or your friends, your family, if you have seen maybe cousins, कि यहाँ पे बहुत बार you have educational pressure from parents that nahi, you have to do this, you have to be you have to follow a certain profession. The other pressure that we see is sometimes in schools. At that age, we want to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. We like someone. But in our Indian culture, at the age of 14, 15, it is not acceptable. But at the same time, when you are in school, you have friends who have boyfriend or a girlfriend. Also, the topic on, basically, if somebody is gay, it is not acceptable in our culture. A lot of times, we do see a lot of parents coming out and accepting it, which is a good thing for the kids and parents, but it is not acceptable. It's a taboo, abhi bhi. So, iske bare mein, what would you like to share? Manav, we'll start with you right now.
So, I think it sort of varies based on the culture, as we were mentioning earlier, of who is assimilated with which culture and how the family's outlooks are. So, in high school, a lot of my friends did have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and that was something that they were okay with or their parents were okay with. And I think it maybe just depended on the way the family's perspective was on various topics. So I think like a few of my friends, their parents were, some of them were born and brought up in India, some of them were born and brought up here, but regardless, they assimilated with the other culture in order to stay in the middle and sort of have a balance. Mm-hmm. And I think that really helped them and their kids be okay and open-minded and be a little bit more well-rounded with their choices and culture.
Right, and a lot of times if parents don't give that listening ear and they just, the first time a kid is trying to share, okay, I kind of like this guy or I like this girl, agar pehli baar mein, if the parent is like, no, don't we all just want to then hide it from the parents? Like, people will still do it, but they'll hide it, right? So isn't it always better to be able to listen to them at least? Yes, if there's something wrong, then we have to work towards it. But at least listening is what we are requesting, right? And for the kids also. It's not only parents, it's also the kids to be honest with their parents. I think when we are honest with our parents, it's for our own good, right? So Mansi, you would like to share about that?
So I think hitting on a little bit of the first part of it also, I think that it just depends on what, I guess, each family and what they see around them and what they've grown up and what's common to them. I think that just really matters. And then in terms of the educational aspect of you have to grow up and you have to go into this field or you have to be this, I think that just comes from the expectations that people have around you, and I think that rather than having those expectations, I think it's better to allow you to kind of do what you want. I've been fortunate enough to not be, forced into doing what I have to do, but I've been given the option of doing what I enjoy and what I want to do for the sake of, myself and what I enjoy, as long as I do it with, full intent mm-hmm. and something that I want to do for the rest of my life, not because somebody else wants you to do it.
That's wonderful. And I would like to share here, and I would actually like to thank my parents at this point that, they gave me the freedom for what I wanted to do. At the beginning, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but my dad always was there to say, it's okay, jo karna hai karo. And that is important, right? Manushi?
Yeah, so adding on to what they just said, it's really important to have like certain experiences as you grow up. That way you can like grow through what you go through, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of things that I see, like, you know, with fellow like Indian friends that were born here, but they have like Indian parents that they tend to hide a lot of things, and it's because like they have no other choice but to hide it, because if they were to say something or confront something, then their parents would just silence them right away and say, no, this is wrong, rather than asking like, or having like a proper honest discussion about like, okay, what it is that you're doing, why are you doing it, and if they think it is wrong, then explain why, so that they can understand and know what to do next time, you know, like the right way to do things. So it's very important to have like that open and honest space, you know, to have a proper discussion.
I totally agree. I don't know if if there's an issue that parents don't agree or the kid doesn't agree, they may not come to a solution, but at least having that conversation is very important, because a lot of times that's where we are getting at, is that kids they end up doing something, and then it affects them mentally, and it all leads to their mental illness. And we have seen, especially during the last 1 year, a lot has happened, and a lot of the suicide rate has gone up within the youth also. So that's right. Now moving towards this is about family. We touched a little bit about different type of internal pressures. Now moving towards the external pressures that we see in our lives, and we see this in every age, but talking about how you all go through it at your age, about social media. I mean, there's so much about social media. Sometimes I feel people live their life more on social media and less in their own homes. They have a better relationship on social media than they actually have with their partners or their parents or their siblings. So tell me about that. How much pressure is that? It definitely leads to a lot of mental stress. It does. So let's start with you, Manushi, on social media.
Yeah, so I personally am an active social media user. Everyone that knows me knows this. And so I can say that, like, the sad truth is that with the popular platforms of Instagram and Facebook, everyone posts like about their glamorous lives. No one will post about like a job layoff or a family struggle or even like a relationship breakup. And that is like the normal. That's the normal thing for people to do. And so because of that, people will have like not like a very authentic feel on who they follow. They won't know like what really is going on. Behind the scenes. And so with my platform, I hope to be as authentic as I can, so that way I can help whoever is in need, and also if they are looking for something real and genuine, that they can find that instead of something that's just very plastic.
That's true. But I've noticed one thing. When people put some sad songs, I know they're going through some breakup. It's like sad, one of those sad romantic songs. But yeah, Manav, tell us about the pressure you feel and what it leads to with social media.
Sure. So I think I completely agree with what you're saying, is people mainly post just about their glamorous lives or what's perfect in their life. No one posts something negative. And that basically, I think that boosts their own self-esteem, so that they feel better about themselves. And in turn, that makes other people feel worse about themselves if something isn't going right in their life. Yeah. And that kind of is the pressure that social media adds to the mental health of the community.
Yes. And, I have seen that because a friend shared this with me. She was having a rough relationship with her husband, going up that relationship up and down. And suddenly she opens her Facebook and there's a friend of hers who's posted, "Oh, I love you so much, hubby. Thank you for the birthday gift. Thank you for my Louis Vuitton." And, she's like, I felt even worse at that point. So sometimes, when someone's posting that, it's okay. But at the same time, it could affect someone even more. So, I totally agree with that. A lot of people are only posting about their happiness, and which is good, but at the same time, I think it's more fake at times, is what we can see. And Mansi?
I completely agree with everything that's been said, but just adding to it, I definitely think that a lot of the pressure from social media comes from, okay, I want to be like this person, their life is perfect, they have no struggles, no problems, whatever. But I think the honest truth of the matter is that everybody goes through something that's not maybe perfect or something that they may not like, but of course they won't share it. So I think that just realizing that everybody has different experiences and that everybody is different and everybody's not the same, I think is really important. And learning that social media is not, the place to find, the truth about everything, because everything, I would say about 75% of the things that are posted on social media are just happy and positive and good things that happen to people.
That's true. And we need to use it to a limit, I think. A lot of times people are basing their lives out of social media. Even mainly I see, youth, like your age. I've seen kids that I know, it's only about posting on social media. Life is more about posting on social media. So I'm sure it must be putting that pressure on, their classmates or their friends around, that अरे इसकी ज़िंदगी में इतनी खुशी है, मेरे पेरेंट्स तो मेरी बात ही नहीं सुन रहे हैं. So those kind of things.
I think it's because it's more of, I guess, everybody that's on social media a lot, they're more focused on, I guess, what my friends are doing, what other people are doing, rather than focusing in on themselves and what's going on with them.
And that is really important, what you just said, that people need to focus on themselves.
I wanted to add one thing, actually. So with this issue of people posting about their perfect life, I think the solution shouldn't be to not post it, though. Right? So that's, I think, one of the issues that people have, and that's the controversy, I guess I can call it, is that not posting it so that someone else doesn't feel bad shouldn't be the solution to it.
Not at all,
I think that exactly what Mansi was saying is they should focus on themselves rather than the rest of the world. Because someone else could be happy and they're posting something about their lives that's completely true, and that if that makes you unhappy, then I feel like fixing it rather than I guess demeaning the other person, for lack of better words, is the solution to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's to add on to that, I just want to say that it is important to create that balance. You shouldn't just not do something because you think a person would feel a certain way. Social media was created for a reason, to connect with people, to network with people, and also to you can even use it to help people in various different countries. Just to touch on for example, with COVID, India is going through a lot of things right now, as we all know, and so you can create that awareness. As long as you have a good purpose and a good intention to do something, you can still do it, but just make sure you have its own limitations.
Absolutely. So basically, focus on yourself is one thing that I really took from this conversation with you three. Being active on social media is a part of our lives these days. It's not easy to get away from it. Some of us use it for work, some of us use it for personal lives. But yes, focus on yourself and don't get upset by looking at other people's happiness. Try to fix things like we were discussing. If there's something that you think you want to fix in your life, and the key point is focus on yourself. You are listening to the special edition of Namaste Radio, which is focusing on mental health awareness in Asian Americans, and we are talking to Manushi, Manav and Mansi. I'm Vanshika. We will be taking a small break and we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Let's go! Bollywood entertainment, Bollywood gossip, Bollywood classics, to the latest hits, local news and events happening around town, giveaways and lots of musti. This is Namaste Radio.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM with your hosts Vanshika, Sushil, and Dolly D.
Listen online at NamasteRadioHouston.com. Download the app, available on your Android and iPhone.
Namaste Radio.
Welcome to India House Houston. India House is a non-profit organization that serves the community by bringing resources, education, and services to Houstonians like health and fitness programs, language classes, charity clinic, and various events. Help the community now. Sponsor a program or volunteer for free food distribution at India House. Host your next indoor or outdoor events at India House facility, parties, weddings, or corporate events. Located centrally at 8888 West Belford, Houston. For details, call 713-929-1900 or visit indiahouseinc.org. Follow India House Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Welcome back to Namaste Radio on 99.5 FM. Watch us live on our Facebook page, Namaste Radio, or India House Houston's Facebook page. I am in conversation with Manushi, Manav, and Mansi talking about mental health issues in youth. So now let's get to the most talked about part in the last 1 year, COVID. How COVID has affected the mental health, especially in youth. Mansi, you want to start?
Sure. So I think COVID has really created a barrier, I would say, in social interaction and events that are normally held on various occasions. And I think that has led to, separation from family and friends, going on that trip with your friends or with your family, going to visit your family, that loss of, freedom about doing what you want to do throughout your daily lives, boredom, or even that anxiety of when COVID will be done. I think all of that has led to a deterioration in the individual's mental health and how their mental and social well-being has been throughout the year.
Absolutely. Manav?
And adding on to that, I think that one thing that people may not look at is that because of COVID, definitely the mental health issues have increased, but I think that the number of cases or that have been reported has been a lot higher. Many people are reporting it a lot more than what they would have in the past, and that could be for various reasons of them being at home. So lack of better things to do has caused mental health issues, and them then reaching out to help. Of course, many people still don't reach out for help, but I think that before COVID, mental health issues still existed. It's just that people didn't actually report it or reach out for any help.
Okay. Manushi?
I agree with what they said, and I also want to touch on the positive side, of COVID. Because of that, we've been forced to, stay away from everyone and have a less interaction with the public and everything. And personally, for me, I think as much as I am a social butterfly, I think the time with myself is also very important to me. That way, I can keep myself grounded and focus on my purpose and what I want to do with my life, So I feel yes, in a way, it created a lot of issues for people to be kept away from their family and friends and all their loved ones, but also in a way it makes you focus on, focus on the silver lining of life and just becoming a better you, you don't know how long your life is going to be, and so you should focus on each and every day and what you can do with that day rather than, there's a party every day that I need to go out to and make myself, appear in that place, but rather than just focus on yourself and the day in front of you, the short life that you have, and make it a good one,
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, I agree. COVID has had a lot of negative effects, but it has had a positive effects also. I look at it as I got to spend a lot of time with my family. I think that was positive. Otherwise, zindagi chalti rehti hai. I have to go here. No mummy, I can't spend time. No daddy. But we got to spend a lot of time. So that was good. And yes, self-reflection, all of that, absolutely. But at the same time, we did see a lot of kids, being inside home, going through a lot of struggles and A lot of families were struggling financially, so it affects the kids and their mental health. So yes, but now before I let you all go, because we do have about we have about like 5 minutes left. Today you all shared a lot of factors that lead to mental illness, and some of your personal experiences, some of your experiences around you. Tell us something that you would like to share to that youth listening out there. One thing that you would like to tell them as an advice, as a youth yourself. Manushi, let's start with you.
I think I would say to just like be more aware and open, have that listening ear for everyone, and just check in with everyone that you love on a day-to-day basis. Even if it's a stranger, like go and smile at someone. You never know whose day you're going to be making. So I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Manav?
I think the other thing is not being afraid to reach out for help, whether it be parents, family, friends, further help at a deeper level. Just knowing that there is help available and there's no harm in reaching out for help.
Absolutely. Mansi?
I think just along with doing what you enjoy, I think similar to what Manushi said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So it's definitely better to be that listening ear and listen more than we give our own take on what we are experiencing, or what I guess we want to lecture, tell somebody else about, and try to put ourselves in their shoes rather than saying what we have to say.
Wow, beautiful points to all 3 of you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure I learned a lot from you all today, and it gives me motivation to hear all these lovely words from the 3 of you. Now we want to again thank India House Houston for giving us this opportunity. And India House Houston is a place you can actually reach out for a lot of different classes, online classes that they do. Also for mental health, it'll help you with, even if you join a Zumba class or a yoga class, it helps you. Even the art classes for kids, and they also have language classes. They have family law consultation. They have relationship coaching, and you can reach out to Hope Clinic for if you need any help. You can reach out to them, and their number at Hope Clinic is 713-773-0803, and the extension is 196 at Hope Clinic. Now, Manav and Mansi, you also volunteer your time at India House, and Manushi, you help your dad run your business. So firstly, congratulations for all of that. That helps a lot. And about your time at India House Houston, you've been volunteering your time with seniors technology classes, and now you are also starting this English classes at India House. So tell us quickly about that.
So we realized that, being in America, English is the primary language spoken, and a lot of, I guess, the social and psychological barriers come from not being able to communicate with other people. So, moving from India or from anywhere, for that matter, not knowing English can be a little bit intimidating for everybody. So we decided that we would start an English class to, create that camaraderie and teach others the language of English in order to help communicate anywhere they go.
Wonderful. And it is on it is every Tuesday 4 to 5 p.m. So it's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first class. So good luck with it.
Thank you.
And you can visit India House website, indiahouseinc.org, and it's going to be through Zoom, or call them at 713-929-1900 for details. You want to add something to that, Manav?
Yes, and also, we realize that everyone has different schedules with with everything going on in their life. So one thing that we're trying to do, because we know not everyone will, our hope is everyone joins tomorrow, and goal is to make it a prolonged course to add on every week and improve everyone's skills. But it will also be recording those classes, so if anyone feels that they weren't able to join the first week, or they want to start later, that's always an option to continue with us. So if they just reach out to that number or by email, then we can always get everyone back on the same pace and continue in the same class.
Wonderful. So indiahouseinc.org. And with that, we will wrap our show today. Thank you so much for joining us on Namaste Radio for this special segment on mental health awareness. We will be back for this next Monday with another topic related to mental health at 12 on 99.5 FM or Facebook Live, India House Houston, or Namaste Radio. But this Saturday, don't forget to tune in for our regular show for Namaste Radio, 10 a.m. to noon. And follow Namaste Radio on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, Manushi. Thank you, Manav. And thank you, Mansi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.